On the last episode, they have pet cobras. That's hilarious. And so it continues. So I've done a little bit of thinking here, and I've decided that maybe I should add this person to the colony. We being the transhumanist ideology, having a prosthetic leg is actually somewhat of a good thing. It'll give Ash here a mood buff to have this prosthetic leg, even though it's bringing them down a little bit. The prosthetic leg will also be countered by the fast walker a little bit, so it won't be the end of the world for this prosthetic leg. So the only thing that's bad about this pawn here is their left arm scar. Having the painful thing will not be good for their mood. They will always have pretty bad pain. Their apparel is also kind of bad. We can force them to drop their shirt. And with the alpaca wool parka and the wool pants, they should be okay to be warm. So we could add them to our colony here. They are actually pretty decent pawn here. Being super immune and fast walker is really good. And late game, they will be really good for us. Another bad thing about them is that them being 52 years old, once we get biosculpting pods, they will essentially want to always be in that biosculpting pod until they're like 20 years old again. So that's also a kind of a pain in the butt. But otherwise, I think I will add them to our colony here. So obviously I will want to reduce their will as soon as possible here. Yeah, I just thought upon it. If I were to release them and allow them to go back to Hebo here, it'll only give us like I think plus 14 goodwill, which it's a good amount, but it's not a lot. And so they would still be hostile to us, very much so. The only thing that really helps with hostile relations here is like peace talks event, which happens pretty rarely. So yeah, I think I'm going to add them to our colony here. We desperately need more pawns here. Like, desperately need them. And so having an extra pair of hands will help out a lot. Plus, they are really competent in a lot of things, like having an okay plant skill with a passion. Our only pawn that actually has a good passion in animals. They're really good at mining, which we kind of need because we do need mining here pretty soon. Just having decent skills across the board is really going to help us out. The only thing I don't like is that they're not very good at shooting or melee. Like, they don't have passions or anything. I'll still give them a gun, and I could even have them be a hunter, sort of. But we could also use their animal skills for taming something like Boomalope. I think we have some on the map somewhere. Right here. I think we can tame Boomalope. What do we need here for that? Oh, that's for level 5. So yeah. Yeah, we could tame some Boomalope and start getting some chem fuel maybe. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm going to work on reducing their will, and I am going to use Soma here to help convert them faster as well. That should help speed that along. Let's see, what is their... So their belief is kind of high, but it should be alright to reduce it, especially with their pain. It should help. But that's the plan for now that I've thought about it. Alright, so it looks like we have a Royal Tribute Collector. This is something that'll pop up from time to time if you have joined the Empire. They basically come along, and if you have slaves or you have gold, you can give it to the Tribute Collector in order to gain favor. So you know how Samson has enough favor to get a title? You can essentially trade gold or offer gold or slaves to this Tribute Collector in order to increase that even more. It's essentially the easiest way to do it if you have slaves and gold. We only have a tiny bit here, so we can't really give him a lot. So I think I'm gonna let this guy pass for now. Gold is a pretty precious resource right now to us. We're gonna want lots of it as soon as we can start making advanced components. We're gonna want a lot of it for that. So for now, I'll let them go. If we had chose to enslave Ash as like a slave, then we could give it to the tribute collector as well, and they would be happy with that, and we could gain favor that way too. So another thing that's happened in this time here is that we've started getting psychoid leaves, like they fully grown, so we started harvesting them. It allows us to start making tea here, which obviously we've already started doing. Apparently a wild turkey has decided to walk upon our land here, which means I will, now that we have the psychite tea, we can finally, let's just make a new policy. How about we can finally give our pawns here some drugs to make them happier. So let's call this tea for now. And psychite tea. We'll use it on a schedule here. Every 2 days. You want it on 2 days because if you don't, then if they drink it more commonly than every 2 days, then there's a chance that one of your pawns can become addicted to psychite tea. You can also overdose in psychite tea if you drink it too much. So if you put it at every 2 days, then that'll give you enough window so that nobody can become addicted to it or get overdose on psychite tea. And I'll make it so that they carry one in their inventory so that every time the 2 days comes up, they can drink one and be happy. So essentially what that's going to do is it's going to cause everyone to carry at least one psychite tea on them while they go do stuff. So they'll have a meal and a psychite tea on them. And the cook will also make enough to have psychite tea in the storage. So, and then we will put everybody on the tea policy. We should be happy. Another thing I've done here is I've queued up a bill for making fine meals. We're starting to get quite a bit of meat here. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's actually up to like almost 700 meat, which is more than we have in rice. We don't have someone with a high enough cooking skill yet. Soma is only level 5, and you need to be level 6 to make fine meals. So essentially once Soma becomes level 6 cooking, he'll start making these fine meals, and it'll give a tiny mood buff to everybody, which will be fine. We might as well take advantage of it until we can get our nutrient paste up and running. So, I mean, we might as well, right? That way the meat isn't just sitting there doing nothing, and we can actually make use of it a little bit. Which is fine. Like, I don't feel bad for making fine meals. Usually, the best thing you could do is just make simple meals out of all of it. That way you have lots of food, but it should be okay for now. Another thing I've noticed is that our neutral leaves are almost fully grown again, which is kind of good. Our devil strand is still taking a while, which normally that's how that works. So we finished constructing the carpet. Oh, maybe not. We're very close to finishing the carpet in this building. I just noticed that we need to put walls down now, which I will do really quickly, like that. So yeah, I've queued up Soma to go use his convertibility on Ash here, and we'll see how much it brings down their beliefs. Hopefully it'll be a lot. Not really. It was a failure and only brought it down by 9%. It's still 9% more than we would otherwise have, but that kind of sucked. I mean, it's bound to happen. They only have 1 in their social skill, so I couldn't imagine it being a lot. But actually, now that I think about it, let's see. You only have a social skill 1. So maybe once Ash gets converted to our colony here, we might make her a, we might make her the, what's it called? The priest role. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do maybe, once we recruit them and convert them over. But other than that, yeah, just slowly starting to chip away at some of the more tedious stuff here. I am gonna start thinking about what I'm gonna do for this mining task here pretty soon. So we have a quest here for a relic. Now, this is the first time I've ever gotten this quest. You've learned that a relic of the Autobots nearby, the perfect cube. If you could collect it, you could build a great reliquary to make the technicians happy and attract wealthy pilgrims. So that's kind of interesting. Now, I wonder if there's like a time frame for this. First, you need to find the perfect cube. Watch for opportunities to gather information about it. Let's accept it. Obviously, because we're going to want to get relics for our ideal Legion at some point. I guess there is no time limit on it, which is nice. We just have to find info somewhere somehow. I've never gotten this quest before, so I'm not sure how we do that. But I guess for now we just sit and wait. And we are slowly starting to get some psychite tea. Let's see. Has anyone actually drank any? Okay. So it looks like all our pawns had their dose of psychite tea, which is nice. It gives them a whopping 12 mood buff. This mood buff, I think, only lasts for a day. So essentially every other day they'll have really strong mood. And then obviously on their days off, they will just be normal again. That's good. That's good. So we'll essentially get our stockpile of tea up using the psychoid plants here. And then once that's done, I'll convert whatever we have left over into yayo. And then the tribute collector here is just, we're not going to give anything to them, so we'll just watch them walk off the screen after they're done here. And apparently this is already done growing, or at least some of them are. They grew kind of fast. But that's alright, it'll just let us make some more neutromine here. So as I'm doing work on our building here, looks like we have inspired trade from Christina of all people, which is kind of bad. Inspirations are typically normally really good, but when you get something that's specific to your social skill, like inspired trade, not so much. Christina does have a social skill of 3, which is pretty bad. I would rather Samson have it, because then when he trades, it actually has a noticeable impact. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to be making use of this at all, because Samson just has such a better social skill that it actually will make a better impact than the inspired trade. I believe that's how that works, unless for some reason inspired trade counts as you having skill level 20, which it should, but I don't think that's how that works. So the inspired trade will be useless here. We still have Go Frenzy on Soma here, which will last for another day or so, which is nice, but that'll be out here pretty soon. Now that I think about it, have we done... We've almost hunted everything that I queued up there. We just have one more gazelle to go, and then Soma can purely focus on taking care of the colony once again. I'm not going to try and hunt any more animals. We do have a nice stockpile of leather and stuff we can use to make dusters and stuff pretty soon. But I think now that we have most of the colony figured out here, I'm going to start queuing up some mining here. The first thing I want to do is get some more steel, so yeah, I think that's next on the list. Okay, so we have another quest here that popped up almost straight away. A group of poor travelers are approaching looking for help. They're begging for 8 herbal medicine. We have enough of that. By right-clicking squid. These travelers are not part of any faction. So, okay. So if we want, let's see, let's take a look here. We have Industrious and Jogger, that's really good. And they have a really good art skill. And they have nothing wrong with them. And they're only 27. Slow Learner, literally useless. And we have Careful Shooter. Incapable of firefighting and social. Okay, so they're not part of any faction. Interesting. So they're just beggars, it looks like. I think I might want to try and capture black here. Jogger trait is really good. Having a really good art skill will come in handy when we want to start making statues and stuff like that. They have good passions in a lot of other skills too. And of course they have the industrious trait. I don't think I'll use my psychic glance on any of these two though. This guy would be the only one I'd really want. I don't want a slow learner for obvious reasons. Yeah, this guy would be the only one I want. Careful Shooter is decent. Especially late game, there's a certain weapon that works really well with Careful Shooter. Problem being that you take longer to shoot, which is a little bit counterintuitive for the weapon that Careful Shooter is good with. But he's incapable of social and firefighting, which in the long run doesn't really matter. So these characters here would be really good for harvesting organs out of, so... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Slick run up and capture black once they get a little bit closer. Because we do have another bed here we can use. Well, we have a few, actually. Set for prisoners. So yeah, once they get closer, I'll have Slick run up and capture black, and I'll have Samson start attacking squid, I think. And then if Samson doesn't kill squid, then we will capture him as well. The way beggars work, by the way, is that once you upset them, they'll immediately flee. They don't fight back, so they're essentially just free resources. Actually, I think they do fight back, but the way the game works is that if you're fighting factions or something, unless there's obviously just one of them, as soon as you kill half of the raiding party, rounded down, or the people that are attacking you, they flee unless they have certain traits or something like that. Oh boy, don't quote me on any of this. But I just know that once we capture black, these two should flee. If they don't, then obviously we'll have Samson attack squid. So they should be fleeing after squid goes down. So let's just see. We'll wait for them to get closer and we'll capture black. And then go from there. So I guess I'll just wait until they get closer and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So the beggars have walked up here. And I will use Slick to try to arrest... Oh, really? Apparently there's not a good chance of that. That's kind of interesting. I think it's based on social skill then, right? Then why is it so bad? Maybe I'll try and get Christina to do it then. Just because it's a little bit of a better chance then. Boom. And then we attack. Okay, they will fight back though, so we will start taking damage. Hopefully it's not too bad. And while we're fighting here, it looks like we have a quest. The Manic Lynx. So, recently lost a scouting party to a pack of 5 man-hunting lynx. 5 of them? Oh, man. Wants to draw the beast towards you to be killed. Cataphract will be placed under your control. We'll have to feed and house her. She may die in the battle without consequence. Okay. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And for that, we could get gold and a bionic leg, which would be huge. And a psychic sensitizer as well. Those are huge, dude. Wow. We get manhunting lynx out of that, and we get a cataphract that'll help us fight. The problem is that both Samson and Slick are going to be like... they're going to take damage out of this. Oh, man. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. It'll expire in 1.4 days. You know what? I'm going to not accept this immediately so that we can give our colonists here the highest amount of time to recover. 1.4. Although maybe this will count down as we wait here. Let's see how this fight turns out before I do anything. Okay, so we did shoot Dakota here with an arrow. How's this guy doing? We do have a cut here, which is kind of unfortunate. Slick is taking quite a bit of damage here. Quite a bit of damage, let's see. Let's try and run away here, I think. Oh, we have a bug here. Great, cool. No, I want you to fight this guy. Okay, so we downed this guy. Which should be okay. He's not in immediate danger, so... we literally just downed him and that's it. Okay, so that could be good, potentially. We'll see. I do need this for medical, though. Okay, so we ultimately ended up killing this person, which is fine. Undraft, what do we have here? A steel knife, okay, whatever. So let's capture you, and you're dead. So this fight turned out alright, actually. We ended up with 2 people. One person we are going to try and convert over. Convert, actually reduce will. You desperately need to heal, though. You also need to heal. Okay. Capture Squid. He will go over here to be healed up, I think. I'm assigned to wardening. Can I... let's see. Let's, okay, let's just for now, Christina, you can warden. Let's... taking to bed. So I have to move Ash to this bed here so that we can put this guy that we're carrying into the hospital bed. This person's dead. Our injured pawns are going to take this opportunity to eat, of course. and then they'll go and get healed up. Okay, let's take you off of wardening before I forget. And then Christina will take her time tending to our pawns. Let's see. So it's still 1.4 days. I want this to tick down, and then we'll see. You're still drafted. I need to undraft you. Okay, and then prioritize tending to you. All right. By the way, so in between the raid there, Soma hit level 6 cooking by making all the Psychite tea, so he's going to start making the fine meals. I just thought I would mention that really quick. So that raid ended up turning out pretty well. It got kind of close there for Slick. She ended up getting really beaten up. As you can tell, her like health bar is really low. It doesn't look like it, but it ended up being kind of bad. That was close, but it turned out all right. We ended up downing Squid. So not only can we capture Black, who we definitely wanted to be a part of our colony, we also ended up capturing Squid, who we could also potentially add to our colony. So including Ash, that's 3 people. We almost doubled our colony size with that raid there. And now we get to focus on this quest here, 1.2 days. Okay, so we can wait a whole entire day before we accept this quest, and it'll still wait another 15 hours. That'll give Slick and Samson enough time to try and heal back up. And then once we get to that, I think I will try and accept this quest and get the bionic leg out of it. Because then what we could do is that Ash here with her prosthetic leg, we can change to be... remove part. Yeah, so we can remove that prosthetic leg and change it with a bionic one. And then the only thing we'll have to worry about with Ash is that their left arm is painful. And they will be able to move at more than 100% efficiency because the bionic leg will give them above 100% efficiency, and they get fast walkers. So Ash will be kind of a powerhouse in working here. The only thing is that their production is going to be kind of low with their left arm. So there's a lot going on here. The excitement is ramped up quite a bit here. But for now, I'll let Samson and Slick rest. And I think I should put Slick on a warden here or something like that. I need to put someone else on warden so that our prisoners here don't end up dying from malnutrition. Let's put somebody on warden that isn't down here. So we are slowly counting down here to when this quest will expire. And it looks like Slick is going to be not able to fight, potentially. We do have about another 20 hours before the lynxes show up on the map. But we're going to be cutting it really close. And once the lynxes show up, we're literally going to be having all hands on deck. Like, we're drafting everybody who is currently able to in the colony to go fight these lynxes. Yeah, it's going to be weird. And it's also going to be really close. But the good news is Samson just got done healing, so he can start taking care of the prisoners here instead of Christina, who's had to basically single-handedly feed these guys. Although Christina did manage to lower their wills, both Black and Squid, down to 0. So we can start converting them to our ideologian as well. So, yeah. It looks... Oh, I didn't even realize that they have prices over their head. But I think we are going to try and accept this quest to get this bionic leg and this gold. It's too good not to pass up, you know? So I guess we'll just see. Once it gets down to 1 hour, I'll accept the quest, and then I will try my best to heal up Slick. We'll see who this Cataphract guy is, and then we'll prepare to fight these lynxes. And while I'm waiting here, it looks like we have inspired creativity from Soma, which is kind of interesting. What I will do with that is I will get Soma to probably make a double bed. And essentially what creativity does is that the next item that they create, whether it's construction or I think art for furniture he creates will be 2 quality levels higher. So yeah, art or furniture that he makes will, so you know how these beds are like good or poor or awful quality or whatever. So essentially if you were to make a bed that's good quality, instead it will be masterwork quality, because the next quality up from this is excellent and then masterwork. And the only way to make legendary items in this game is if you have this creativity. So essentially if you were to make a bed that would have been excellent quality, it ends up being a legendary quality. So I will queue this up really quick. Furniture, double bed, just put it wherever, I guess. And then, what is he doing? He's trying to make meals. Well, let's just have him do that right now. And we got normal quality. So, so basically what happened there was that he made a bed of awful quality, but it gave it 2 quality levels higher, so it ended up being normal. What a complete waste of time that was. You get to deconstruct your mess. So that inspired creativity ended up being useless. Normally it's really good to get that, but... Okay, so I should accept this quest, by the way, before I forget. Except for the bionic leg. What is your health looking like? It'll be close. And who's this Cataphract that we got? Oh, he's gonna arrive by shuttle? Okay, interesting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this guy here has Cataphract armor, Cataphract helmet, and a bi-coated minigun. Armor, skin gland, and death acidifier. That's kind of interesting. I'm really curious. I just kind of want to see. Oh, I want to see what it would be like to try and capture this guy, because that'd be amazing. Everything he has is bi-coated, though, except for his shirt and his pants. Which means that if we were to, like, strip him of his items, we wouldn't be able to equip them anyway, because bi-coated basically means that, Hunting gazelle? What do you mean hunting gazelle? No, don't do that. Take you off of everything, just so that you don't actually do anything. Okay. So cool. We probably will end up killing these lynxes. I mean, this guy alone will probably be able to handle them with his minigun. But we will still end up doing all hands on deck for this thing. We can also let him die. It said that in the quest that he doesn't have to survive, so we'll probably end up having him tank a lot of shit too. But for now, he gets to just chill at our table. What are you at for preach health? Pretty close here. So I guess we wait for the lynxes to show up. Oh my god, dude. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Um, so let me tell you guys what happened here. So between this clip and the last clip that you saw, I went to sleep in real life because I'm like, okay, these links are going to come attack us. I've been playing for quite a while. I want to maybe be fresh when fighting these things because lynxes can be quite dangerous. They have sharp claws. They can literally one-shot pawns. It is possible. So I need some time to think about it because I was thinking of just throwing our cataphract that we had at the lynxes and just letting him melee them to death. Because cataphract armor is pretty good, and I think he had armor skin gland or something like that. So it ended up, it's pretty good. But I'm like, well, he has the minigun, so maybe it'd be better if we had Samson like tank it, and then he could just shoot the lynxes, and be, he could just do that. So I went to sleep. I woke up, came on here, booted up my recording software, started playing. I fought the lynxes. I very obviously beat the lynxes. um, and Slick and Samson are in bed here, healing back up from their fight against the lynxes. Our bionic leg was delivered. Our gold is delivered. And I started playing quite a bit of the game too. Let's see. So I loaded this autosave here, autosave 3, which brought us right to after the Lynx fight. And I played for 40 minutes after the Lynx fight, in which a lot of things happened, and I made a lot of progress. And I look at my recording software to see how long I've been recording, and it said I hadn't been recording. So I forgot to hit record, dude, and I can't go back to the Lynx fight because I saved the game and I don't have an autosave from before the Lynx fight. Oh my god, dude. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Dude, I'm so mad. There is no possible way for me to get that fight back unless I literally just start our colony over from scratch again. Scrap this whole world, scrap all my recordings I've done, and just start over from the beginning, which I'm not going to do for obvious reasons. I will tell you the lynxes came from right here. They walked this way, went across the water here, and we fought them here on this open area. I had the cataphract guy stand right here and shoot the minigun at the people. I had Christina and Soma stand here with their bows shooting at them, and I had Samson and Slick tank right here. The fight ended up being pretty close, actually. Slick and Samson were both under half health by the time they were all killed. For some reason, these two guys, they instantly started rotting as soon as they died, so we can't pick them up and, make use of their bodies. But we did get 3 of the lynxes hauled in and butchered, thankfully. What else happened? A mad bison attacked at some point, which we took care of. Let's see, what else? I've been slowly trying to work on converting these guys, although we haven't really had much time to. Yeah, I just hate that I have to do all this all over again. Let's see, what was I working on here? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I queued up geothermal power here, and then immediately after that I work on smithing. I need geothermal power to power this building here. Our windmill and our battery is not enough to power anything else, really. So I'm working on geothermal power, and I end up putting this geyser right here, I think. Or maybe, is it right there? I think we might have moved it over a little bit. Oh, I think it was right there. So our geothermal power is going to be right here, and then we're going to have it power this building once we get it. It's one of the most expensive researches in the game, even more so than microelectronics. So we do that, and then we start working on smithing because we need to get a tailoring table and a smithing table up to start making weapons and armor like really soon here. The fights are starting to get more difficult. And then I'm not going to talk about the other things that happened after that point because like we had a raid and we had a couple of quests show up. Oh, there's Felonius. He's walking off the map now. We had a raid and we had a couple of quests show up, but obviously since we're replaying this, they're not going to show up exactly the same again, so... And so Felonius is walking off the map here because the lynxes were taken care of. We even got a quest that we had to take care of a chicken, and we were going to get some goodwill out of it. And now we can't anymore, because... God damn it, dude. Anyways. I do apologize for my little fucky wucky. I just wanted to sleep, man. I just wanted to sleep so that when I fought these lynxes, I wasn't like making mistakes and being stupid. Oh my god. But yeah, so let's just forget about it, okay? Let's forget about it. Let's pretend like you guys saw the lynx fight. It was really epic. It was really tense. You guys enjoyed it. Let's pretend that's how that worked out. And let's just pretend like we're just playing from here. So what is our plan? Our plan is to do that research. Our plan is to get our pawns healed back up here, which luckily Slick still has some preach health left over, so she'll be able to heal her injuries up to full a little bit quicker. And Samson's going to be out for a while. We need to put someone on Warden. Oh, I think Christina's already on that. We might as well actually put Soma on Warden instead. Just so that we allow Christina to actually do some research and stuff. So we're going to focus on converting these people over. We're going to do the research. Something else I should note is that once we convert these 3 pawns over to our colony and recruit them, I'm going to give Christina the Door of Truth role. It'll make it so that she doesn't do any of these tasks anymore, but something she will do is that she can still research, she can still heal people, like she can tend to people's wounds and whatnot, and she can still make drugs, which is pretty much the most important thing. I mean, that's what we built Christina around. She's a doctor and the intellectual here, so I'm going to give her that role. It'll give her faster research speed or something like that, and faster drug production. I can't remember the buffs off the top of my head, but the reason why we're going to wait for these people to join our colony is that we're going to lose a pawn's production pretty much. So it'll be better after we almost double our total colony production. It'll be better to wait for that and then convert Christina over. But yeah, so that's the plan for now. Research, convert, and slowly start working on weapons and armor. And as I get done talking here, we get cargo pods here, which gives us sheep wool. Great. Already we have something different from my other 40 minutes of recording. We didn't get cargo pods then, so we have 152 sheep wool. That'll be good enough for, I think, 2 parkas, or maybe some toques once we get our tailor bench down. And that'll be useful because our colonists keep complaining about the cold weather at nights, so... I'm not sure if we should start putting down the tailor bench right now, though, and start making some clothes. Maybe I'll think about it. Okay, so we got a quest pop up here. Humps and another desperate refugee are approaching. So 2 people. They want to stay here for 8 days, and they won't give us anything. I mean, they'll work for us, but I don't think I'm going to accept this quest. The rewards are pretty minimal, and possible future reward can mean anything from items to locations to nothing. So, we just don't have the room right now. We're full on prisoners. Maybe in the future, once we get more housing at some point, I'll start accepting these quests. But for now, I can't really accept them. Yeah, and that's just the end of that. And almost immediately after we get another quest, the Royal Ascent. I already talked about this in the 40 minutes that you guys won't be seeing. But the gist of it is that once we get Samson to a high enough title, we can accept this quest. And what will happen is that the leader of the Orange Dominion will come and stay at our colony. We have to keep his mood above 25%. And we have to defend him from attackers. And if we successfully do that for a certain amount of time, for 12 days, he'll basically let us beat the game. He'll give us a ship that we can leave the world with. And yeah, so that's not how we're going to try and beat the game. What we're looking for is the Arco Nexus, which we probably won't see a prompt for until after we get our colony wealth above a certain level. So as for this quest, we're just going to trash it because we're not going to do it.